captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yo, baby. Oh boy. Yes, sir. Beautiful Thursday, man. Episode 310. Getting it cracking. Man. Every day is a day closer to March. We are exactly 10 days, 10 hours, 4 minutes, about 50 seconds on the countdown to the bracket selection Sunday. The bracket coming out. Today will be one of the first days I really dive deep into some of these teams. Going to do the Pac-12. Only two teams there, which is heartbreaking, sad. The last season of the Pac-12 brought us nothing but lows. Also, I don't know how to explain it really, but there's a bunch of small conferences, a bunch of small schools. So today I'm gonna do the Pac-12, only two teams, and then I'm gonna talk about 4 or 5 other teams from smaller conferences. Monday, I'll pick it back up. One of the bigger conferences. Some great games last night, some great games Tuesday night that I missed out on talking about yesterday. Again, I apologize. Had a weird morning yesterday morning. But biggity back like we never left. Man. I am geeked, excited. Couldn't be more excited. Uh, it's all here, baby. That's 15 pages of the 70-page document. Talking like I'm a president. A Watergate scandal, baby. Moving documents around. But that's what we do here, baby. Dive deep. Put in the long hours to dig in so you do not have to. All you got to do is tune in around this time of year, get some money in your pockets. Uh, Been a good week so far. It's at 2-0 Monday, 1-2 Tuesday, and 2-0 yesterday. So rocking and rolling how we rocking and rolling. Forgot where I'm at here. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Man, the more I think about it, and I'm gonna open the show talking about this in a minute. I mean, I want to say UConn, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. The thing that scares me is they're looking to go back to back. A lot of pressure on them going back to back. Also, last year, Kansas was the team trying to go back to back. And believe it or not, I ended up picking UConn to win it all, but Kansas was my first bracket. So I'm kind of hesitant about going with UConn. And I'm trying to find another team outside of UConn. And that's the thing. I mean, before you get the bracket, you don't know paths, you don't know matchups. Just to pick a team out of thin air, I don't really see anybody outside of UConn that I truly believe can make a true run at this. I'm gonna try and see who gets hot in these conference tournaments. But at the end of the day, it's all about matchups. I think that's how I ended up with UConn last year. I do about I do one bracket just strictly numbers. No gut, no thought. Look at the numbers. Second bracket I do is all gut. Don't even look at numbers. Just what do I feel? And then I sit a day or two, ponder, and then I come back to it and I say, okay, I do trust the numbers here, trust my gut here. Go through each matchup. That's also the easier thing to do. I think people look at a 68 team bracket and they try to pick a team that they think is the best team. And at the end of the day, if you go game by game, one by one, I feel like that's a lot better of a process. It don't matter if you think UConn's going to win it all if every matchup they have you're skeptical about. Just go one by one, game by game. Whoever you end up with, that's who you end up with. A lot of people go into it wanting to make their favorite team or the team they think is going to win it all the champion, so they force it. For instance, I always have a bracket that has Michigan State winning, just for funsies. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, we about to dive deep into some stuff right here. I know I feel like I just talked about Gonzaga last week, but man, sorry, I'm doing all this typing. This is Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. It is the 7th day of March and the 67th. I love how that's lining up this week. You got the third day, the 63rd, the 7th day of March, the 67th day of the year. Again, this is episode 310, baby. Getting it rolling. Uh, man, I love that I started this here with y'all. But anyway, let's diggity dive in. I want to talk some Tourney stuff. I kind of started off the conversation outside of UConn. Who do I trust? If I wanted to just pick a random winner right now, who the hell do I trust? And the easy answer off the top of the head would be a team like Purdue. They got the skills. The thing that worries me the most about Purdue is perimeter defense. Also, Matt Painter has never proved that he can get you to even a Final Four. And Matt Painter's had some good teams. Uh, that's what scares me about Houston as well. I mean, you look at Houston metrics, you look at Houston by the numbers, you look at how they played this season. Even last night, going on the road, getting the win. They don't cover the hook, but that hook is a mother effort. But I don't know. I don't trust Kelvin Sampson to get there. We've seen him get to a few Final Fours. I think they can make a deep run, Elite Eight, Final Four, but we've never seen them get over that hump and push it to the limit. Even get to a championship game to see how he performs. They do have everything you like to see in a tournament team, both all the I don't want to call them lames, squares, but all the guys on the radio that just talk. Oh, the top 20 in defense and top 20. Houston is top 20 defense, top 20 offense. Does that mean any damn thing to me? Not really. Houston does have one of the best point guards in the league, the country. Does that mean anything to me? A little bit. Jamal Sheed is a difference maker. But is Jamal Sheed that much of a difference maker than a Tristan Newton, a Boo Booey? Who, if you think Northwestern has a chance, I hate to break your heart now. They're not getting out the second round. I just can't pick a team. Does home court advantage matter at all? Arizona playing Salt Lake. Then after that, Los Angeles. And then if they make it to the Final Four, they'll be 2 hours from their campus in Phoenix. If they can make it to a Final Four, I think Arizona does have a good shot because of the home court advantage. However, we try to do this every year, even in the Super Bowl, and it just never works out. Rarely. Rarely. Does it ever work out? There's a lot of pressure in being that home team that's closest to home, that's closest to the tournament. Just like there's a lot of pressure on UConn going back to back. I mean, we saw last night. UConn, they had a close game, and Marquette still pulled it out and won by almost, 8 points, almost double digits. So I don't think the pressure will get to UConn. But the tournament is a different beast. And I know this isn't set in stone, but right now, they would have a pretty easy, in my opinion, road to the Final Four. Um, I mean, outside of Alabama, North Carolina, Kansas, which they're not going to have to play both of those teams. It's either going to be Kansas or North Carolina. If you look at the bottom half of the bracket, in their bracket, they do have some tough teams. Kansas, Gonzaga, Nova, who knows them well, North Carolina, a few small schools that could upset them if they get there, maybe South Carolina. Uh, but they only got to play one of those teams. They only got to play the one team that gets to where they get to. In their immediate bracket, Texas Tech, and Nebraska, and Eastern Kentucky, no competition there. And then you got Washington State, Princeton, Alabama, UC Irvine. The only team I'd truly be worried about is Alabama. I'm going to talk about Washington State today. They are impressive. But I definitely don't think they're in the same league as a UConn. And I don't even see Washington State beating Alabama. If I had to call it right now, UConn beats Eastern Kentucky. They beat Nebraska like a dog. Tear up Alabama. And then whoever they see in the bottom half just went through a gauntlet trying to get to them. I just feel like UConn's automatically in the Final Four. But, as I said, opening the show, Kansas was that team last season. Kansas was the team going back to back. Kansas was the number one seed. Kansas was rolling. I believe they lost to Arkansas in the Week 16. I have to go back and look. But it's hard. It's hard to just pick an outright winner this year. I don't believe in a lot of these teams. I don't believe in a lot of these coaches who have great teams. But hey, maybe this is their year. We saw Boeheim with Syracuse, coach since '76, get to the Final Four, get to the Final Four, get to the championship, get to the championship, loss after loss after loss, and finally, 2003, because of the greatest player ever, Carmelo Anthony, they win a championship. Maybe that happens this year. Maybe Zach Edey is that special. Maybe Dalton Knecht is that special. Maybe Jamal Sheed has some hidden tricks up his sleeve we haven't seen yet. I don't know. There's some superstars all across the nation. I just don't trust a lot of these coaches that have these good teams. I feel like it's going to be one of the weirdest years ever. If you look at the recency of the tournament, it's been upsets. I saw a post yesterday with the top 10 upsets according to point spread. Um, so not opinion based, just the biggest spread dog to win. And all of them are within the last decade. Most of them in the last 2 years. So we're getting upsets at a higher rate. We're getting lower seeds moving further in the tournament at a higher rate. The term Cinderella team, it's kind of lost its magic. I mean, until you get to the Elite Eight, Final Four, and you're still there, there's a dozen of these teams that's 10 seeds or longer that's getting to that second day, that's getting to the Sweet 16. And looking at this bracket, there is a lot of teams with a long number by their name that I could see making a run. Now, how serious of a run? That is yet to be determined. You also have teams like Illinois. 5 guards, offenses, a dynamite. But how will they fare on defense? Again, it's all about matchups. Right now, Illinois has a pretty easy road to at least the Sweet 16. Sanford, Grand Canyon, BYU might give them some trouble if they get there. I just don't know, man. I like Duke a lot, but I don't. I just think they soft. This isn't Coach K's Duke. I'll tell you that. This isn't Roy Williams, North Carolina. I don't know. And then you got smaller teams that's kind of getting hyped up because of what they've done in the past. San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, two teams from last season. A lot of people have on their list. But let me tell you something about history. Historically, those teams come back, don't get out of the first or second round. All of these stars aligned for them to make that run last season. And I hope those kids remember it forever. I know I will. But it's just hard to duplicate that. You've seen Florida Atlantic struggle. I mean, yeah, they beat Arizona around Christmas. But other than that, they've struggled against bad teams. Just lost to Memphis. Memphis is a team that's not even in this thing yet that I still believe can be a Final Four team if they get in the tournament. They're like that, I don't know. They're like that kid that's bigger than everybody and they got in trouble. They're not allowed to play. And you just hope and pray that they don't get out of timeout in time to come play. Because if they do, they busting ass and they taking name. But anyway, let's dive into some of these breakdowns. I already talked too much about nothing. Let's get into this Pac-12, and then I got one, two, three, four, five other teams. I'm gonna get through as many as possible. Also have two bets for you tonight. Taking two dogs. I don't know. I like it. I love it. Two doggies. I feel like the number's way too big on both of these dogs. I will break that down later in the show. I mean, I guess it is senior night. It is the last game of the season for some of these teams. But I don't know, man. I do not know. I forgot all about the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Talking a little golf here, huh? Scotty Scheffler. Plus 650. Rory McIlroy. Plus 800. Haven't thought about this at all. So I'm just looking. I'm not even going to bet anything, probably. Jordan Spieth. 22 to 1. Give it to me. Where's my boy Siwoo Kim at? Sung Jae 65 to 1. Tom Kim 65 to 1. Siwoo Kim 80 to 1. Put a little something on my boy. My boy Siwoo. Sorry. I'm live on air making golf bets that I ain't even plan on making. Love it, man. It's gonna be an hour show. I can feel it. I can feel it. I don't think there's anybody past Siwoo I would want to take. Grab a 250 to 1. I think I'm just gonna rock Siwoo, man. Put a little something on him. Make it shake and bake. Doom, 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 doom. And shake and bake. All right, my bad. Siwoo Kim wins. I'll be happy. Uh, anyway, let's dive into it. Pac-12, baby. Arizona. Start off with Arizona. Impressive. I like that they are on the radar. They're a number one seed, but not. I don't think anybody. I haven't heard anybody talking about them truly as a winner. We saw Caleb Love carry North Carolina to the final game 2 years ago when Kansas won. Uh, why can he not do the same here? Arizona has a very impressive resume. They still got 2 more games left. Let's get this season over with. Let's wrap it up. Get to the tourney. But anyway, since January 27th, only lost 1 game, and that was a 3-point loss to Washington State, who somehow is a quad 2 team. Talk about Washington State next for sure. But this team has five players averaging double digits, led by Caleb Love at 19 a game, 23-6 overall, 7-3 against quad 1 teams. Excellent quad 1 record. 14-4 in conference play. Weak conference means nothing. Pac-12 has been nothing but a disappointment this season. Quad 2, they're 6-2, and then they're 10-1 against 3-4. They're ranked 4th in the net. They're a top 10 team in the AP poll. Their offensive 6 in efficiency, 1.24 points per game. That's 6th in the nation. Offense is rolling, rocking. Somehow their defense is ranked 13th in the nation in efficiency, only allowing 0.93 points per game. But that's been their biggest problem. Not looking at the metrics, looking at the eye test, I've seen them give up 80, 90 points too many times. A lot of their losses has come because they can't stop any damn body. Florida Atlantic puts up 96 on them. Purdue put up 92 on them. Stanford put up 100 on them. Washington State dropped 73 and 77. Oregon State drops 83 points on your head. Wowzers. Even in wins, you give up 99 to Utah. You just happen to drop 105. Uh, I do see why the numbers are inflated as they are. I mean, I also get it. You're blowing teams out. Who cares? You beat Oregon last game 103-83. Still gave up 83 points. But the defense is not as good as they say it is. They blew out a lot of bad teams, holding them to around 60 points. I think we get into the tournament, and this team defense is going to be their biggest problem. Although, if you look at the path they have today, that's not going to hurt them until probably the Elite Eight. I don't see. I mean, unless they run to Illinois in the Sweet 16s, but that team's defense is trash too. Illinois and Arizona plays take the over 200. I know that's a crazy number, and that's a joke, but I can't believe Arizona's defense is ranked 13th in the nation. I guess they are 7th in the nation in defensive rebounding. Uh, they don't foul at all. But other than that, it's nothing that stands out and jumps out. And if you look at the eye test, the defense is it's not that good, especially at the guard position. They do have a great front court defense, but the backcourt defense, perimeter defense, I don't love it. I mean, I can see Arizona getting to a Sweet 16, but I also can see them getting upset in the second round. They got upset in the first round last year. Why not get upset in the second round this year? Just don't believe in Arizona at all. If they get to the Final Four, though, I might throw something on them to win it all just because it's in Arizona, but I'm not the biggest Arizona fan this year, for sure. Again, 23-6, though, speaks for itself. Now let's look at Washington State. This is the kind of team that I like. I like it a lot. Starting 5 is the most linked, the tallest starting 5 in the nation. I mean, I forget it, but it's like 6'3", 6'5", 6'8", 6. No, it's like 6'5", 6'8", 6'9", 6'11", 6. Just nothing but it's like the dream lineup. Everybody talks about they want 5 LeBrons, just 6'9", 260, run, gun, shoot, defend. That's what this Washington State team is. They're 23-7 on the year, 5-3 against quad 1. Not bad at all. 14-5 again in a bad conference. Lately, I mean, they've been absolutely hot. Since January 24th, only losing 1 game, and that was kind of a trap game. They beat Arizona on the road, and then they got to go to Arizona State 2 days later. Arizona State gets them, bites them. They did let USC play with them a little more. I don't know. They got one more game against Washington tonight, and then they'll be ready for the tournament. I think this is a dark horse in the Pac-12 tournament. We've already seen them beat Arizona. It is hard to beat a team twice. I'm sure Arizona will come in there with a chip on their shoulder. But you could have said the same thing about Marquette, and UConn just went there and slapped them again. Washington State is going to be a very dangerous team, a very under the radar team. Right now, they're projected as a 5 seed. That's one of the worst spots to get in the tournament. We always know about the 12-5 upsets. And then, boom, guess who the 12-5 gets to play? Uh, the 4 seed. Boom, guess who they get to play after that? The 1 seed. So it's definitely, in my opinion, the worst spot to be in. Uh, there's 5 seed's the worst. I'd rather have that 4 seed, 3 seed, or even the 6 seed. 6 seed has one of the easiest. If you once you get past number 3, I guess in number 2, I don't know. It's a tournament, so it's not like there's any easy pass. But the 5 seed is definitely the worst. Some reason there's like some mojo on those 5 seeds. I would love to see Washington State make a deep run in the Pac-12 tournament and jump up to a 4 seed, maybe even a 3 seed. Um, but still, I mean, at that 4 seed spot, you end up with the same thing. Now you gotta play the 5 seed, then you play the 1 seed. So really, I mean, you got to go out there and win ball games. It don't really matter. This team is 55th in offensive efficiency and 52nd in defensive efficiency. I like these kind of numbers better than the 6 and 13, only because feel like this team can play with anybody. Average 1.14 points a game, only give up 0.97 points per game. If you look at their small margins in these efficiency numbers, also, we just talked about Arizona being 13th in the nation, only giving up 0.94. This is 0.97, and they're 52nd. Defense really isn't, what's that, 48 spots back from Arizona. They're really zero point 0.4 points per game back from Arizona. Offense, averaging 1.14 points per game. That's 55th. Just talked about Arizona being 6th at 1.2 something. So it's really not that big of a difference when you look at these efficiency numbers. But hey, you got to rank it, and you got to rank it in order. That's pretty much all that is. I like the pace of this team for the tournament. They can run, but they're a slow team. I like slower teams in the tournament that can run. You give me a team like St. Mary's that I don't think can run, it might be a problem. But I like slow teams in the tournament. It's kind of why I do like Houston. I think that was UConn's best advantage last season and this season. UConn can run, but they don't want to run. They want to get clinging on the posts. But if you give them any opportunity to run, they're going to try it. As soon as they get the ball, they're running. They just have the wisdom to, all right, pull this thing back. Let's run a set, see what we can get. That's what Washington State is to me. They'll run it if they can, but they have the length on defense to get a lot of turnovers and run. But if you just let them walk it up, they have a great half court set. Nothing really jumps out numbers wise. This team is just an impressive basketball team. They have 4 cats averaging double digits. Another one averaging 7. Um, they rebound the ball extremely well. They don't really cause turnovers, although they do have a lot of length, but they do not turn over the ball either. Just a very sound, solid, fundamental team. I think they can disturb some people that's not ready for them. That's the 2 Pac-12 teams that we got this year in the tournament: Washington State and Arizona. Sheesh. South Florida, man. I mean, they are just on a tear. Haven't lost a game since January 7th. And if you go back to December 9th, that is the only game that they've lost. 23-5 on the season. Only thing about this team, they haven't really played anybody worth a hot ham. I mean, the 1 point win against Memphis might be the most impressive. Only 1-0 against quad 1 teams. 16-1 in conference play, though. That is just absolutely a downright dirty. Excuse me. They do have a 4-point win against Florida Atlantic. It's crazy. Florida Atlantic's a quad, too. I don't know. That quad shit is BS to me, man. I never believed in it. Uh, Makes no sense. It's Jamaica, me crazy, man. The one thing I do not like about this team, they only have 3 players averaging double digits. They have another one averaging about 9, and then another one averaging 7. But you get in the tournament, and one of those 3 players that's averaging 15, 13 points a game, uh, scores 6, can't hit the bottom of the barrel, probably gonna lose. You need your players to elevate, all of them. If you have 5 or 6 players averaging double digits, you can afford one of them not to. One of them that's averaging 15, maybe he scores 20. One of them averaging 12, maybe he scores 18. You can make up for it. But when your offense is set on 3 people, it's hard to stimulate that if one of them has an off game. So everything will be on those 3 guys' shoulders for South Florida. I forget they're 11th seed right now, which is a pretty good spot. They'll be taking on Wisconsin in the first round if it ended today. I would bet them against Wisconsin. Uh, I don't trust Wisconsin, but anyway, um, slow paced team again, 80th in defensive efficiency, giving up 0.99 points per game. 2 points behind Washington State, go from 56 to 80. I'm telling you, don't look at the numbers this as much. I'm just breaking these teams down to give you a chance to dance. It's all about styles, baby. That's what the madness is. It's a fight. Every game's a fight. Offensive efficiency. Excuse me. 1.10 points per game. This team shoots the 3 well. They defend the 3 well. They defend the 2 well. They defend well. That's what I like about them. That's what I love about them. They also shoot their free throws at a pretty good clip, 75%. I'm looking for anything 74 and over and getting into the tournament. I mean, if you had 80, I'd love it. But the chance to find a team at around 80% free throws, even if they are, you get in the tournament, it's going to shrink up a little bit, if you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, shooting 37% from the 3-point line is pretty darn good. One thing about this team, though, is they do settle for threes a little more often than I would like. Slow paced team, they do get the sets going, but they do kick it out and shoot threes um, a lot. That's going to be their one downfall. You go cold, like I said, one of those 3 players ain't popping. But yeah, I do like South Florida. That's an 11 seed to get 1 win, maybe. I'd take them plus the points against somebody, but I don't really trust them to go too deep. Dayton. Now, this is a team. Dayton is a team I think can make a deep run. Dayton, Deron Holmes is special. 20 points a game for him, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, the kid is prime time television. Behind him, they have 2 other players averaging double digits and then 2 other players averaging 9. Uh, this is the classic tournament team. You got one superstar and then a bunch of role players. The problem with it is Deron Holmes got to drop 30 a game. You averaging 20, we need 30 in the tournament. These cats averaging 7 and 8, we need 12. These cats averaging 10, 11, we need at least 12 to 15. And you got to play defense. They too give up 0.99 points per game. They average 1.19 points per game, which is 14th in the nation. They are 8th in the nation, shooting the ball, true shooting percentage, 57%. 4th in the nation, shooting that thing from deep, 40% from behind the arc, 55% from inside the arc. And then look at this. I just talked about how great this team can shoot. Only 73% from the free throw line. I mean, it just is Jamaica me crazy, man. They don't foul on defense, and they guard the 3-point line extremely well. They guard inside the 3-point line average but they run you off the line. Opponents are only shooting 31% from behind the arc against them. They're 23-6 on the season, 13-4 in conference play. Again, I don't really like the quad stuff, but they're 3-3 quad one, 5-3 quad two, and undefeated at a perfect 15-0 against quad 3 and 4. The one thing about this team is they did a lot of their damage early. And by early, they didn't lose a game from November 19th until January 27th. And then from January 27th until now, they've lost 4 games. I mean, which is conference basketball, baby. You got a loss to Richmond. You got a loss to VCU, George Mason, and then Loyola Chicago, who is another dangerous, under the radar team, Loyola Chicago. This team's got one more game against VCU. They're projected to win it by 9. I like Dayton a lot, man. But Deron Holmes is going to be all on your shoulders. All on your shoulders. We need 30 a game. At least 27 a game from them. They're a 7th seed right now, which they're going against the weakest team on the bracket if the bracket ended today. Oklahoma, I don't even know why the hell they're even thought of as a tournament team. I mean, these guys stink. But anyway, I like Dayton to be a Sweet 16 team. Wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the Sweet 16. I'll just say that. Look at probably got time for 2 more. This team's gonna be quick. You got High Point. They're doing their damn thing. They're 24-7, 13-3 in conference play. I'm gonna shut this team down real quick. Real quick. Real quick. 0-0 quad 1. 0-1 quad 2. And then a combined 22-6 quad 3 and 4. They start their conference tournament tomorrow against Radford. 217th in the nation defensive efficiency. However, offense is 15th in the nation. This is the classic. We're going to try and shoot you out the gym. And if you come back, we got nothing to stop you. I don't see this team doing anything. But, hey, number 107th net rankings. What are they in the play-in, huh? They're actually in the tournament, right? I know I didn't. Oh yeah, they're a 14 seed right now. First round exit. Get them out of here. Let's look over at McNeese State, one of my favorite teams. I think this team, and I'm a jinx it, but I think they're guaranteed to make a Sweet 16 run. They cause turnovers at a high rate. 20% of opponents' possessions against them result in a turnover. They shoot the ball at a high rate. 39% from 3. 52% from inside the arc. The thing that breaks my heart is they're 69% from the free throw line. Oh my God. You got to make your free throws. 4 players averaging double digits, 1 more averaging 9. The one thing that does shake me off of this team a little bit is they are 28-3, 28-3, 17-1 in conference play. They haven't played a quad 1 team all year. Now, even with that being said, they've only lost 1, and I mean 1 game since November 28th. Really, November 22nd. Only 3 losses on the year. I mean, that's impressive. It's a lot of quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. But they're beating these teams pretty bad. I mean, you're talking about 40-point wins, 30-point wins, 50-point wins. I should have bet them last night, minus a 16.5. I wanted to, but I just didn't. They end up winning by 24. This McNeese team is going to take some people by surprise. Their coach, he's proven at the Division 1 record or ranking. This team is ninth in defensive efficiency, 32nd in offensive efficiency. They run and gun 17th in the nation in pace. I really, 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 really like this McNeese State team. Will Wade, aka my dog. Right now, I think they're a 12 seed, and they got Auburn. I wish they would get Auburn in real life because they'll blow them out the water. But I like them as a 12 seed against any of these 5 seeds. BYU, Washington State might be a tough one. Clemson might be a tough one. But I would still take McNeese State on the money line. I'd take them plus the points for sure. Again, this is a guts versus the numbers conversation. I mean, seriously. My gut says Sweet 16, Elite 8 team. The numbers in my mind says first round exit. We'll have to see, man. I like McNeese State a lot. I can't wait to see who they draw in the tournament. Can't wait to break down that game. That might be the game I'm looking forward to the most in the first round is McNeese State against whoever they play. Gonzaga. I might save them because of time constraints. But they're good. I believe I talked about them like less than a week ago, though. They scheduled a hard non-conference and they took a few losses. I ain't mad at them. They got rolling late. I like this Gonzaga team a lot to be one of them out. Oh, the Gonzaga teams, one of those dogs that a lot of people are taking, and they end up going to the Sweet 16, Elite 8 from the 7th seed. That's what they're projected to be right now. I mean, they could beat North Carolina easily. Not easily, but they could. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying they could beat them by 30. I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know if it's the coffee. It's the worst coffee I've ever had, but Lord, feeling weird, feeling funky. Let's jump into today's junior. Let's jump into today's games. Get them previewed, and like I said, I got 2 bets for you that I like a lot. I can't believe I just bet Siwoo Kim out of nowhere. Siwoo Kimmy. Now I got some golf to watch, baby. All right. Excuse me. Get into today's games. This is the first day of the madness, if you ask me. What do you mean by that? It's a Thursday, and there's games starting at 11 a.m., baby. Gotta love it. How could you not love it? Are you not entertained? I'm gonna do this a little different because I want to actually see what's going on. All right, 11:30 Sun Belt Championship, second round, South Alabama taking on Georgia Southern. South Alabama minus 3.5. I mean, how could you not get some early morning action in you? South Alabama 16 and 15, while Georgia Southern's 8 and 23. The line's only 3.5, but there's a good reason. Before you run to the thing, both of these teams are only 8 and 10 in conference play, which means both of these teams are equal. I still think I would take the South Alabama minus the 3.5. I mean, I don't have a huge lean on that. I just would take the higher seed at a spread that small. I mean, anything under 4.5 on a what's it called? 9 versus 8. I guess it's a 9 versus 8. Yeah, I don't know, man. Can't call it like an alcoholic. But if I had to bet it, it'd be the Missouri, the South Alabama minus 3.5. Missouri State, Murray State. It's the MVC tournament, baby. first round. Both of these teams, it's like a pick 'em, baby. I don't know. I'd probably stay away from this one. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams. I mean, it's the madness now. At the end of the day, we rolling. Sun Belt Championship. Their second round kicks off today with Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. They're 11.5 point favorites against Coastal Carolina. I think that number's too big, especially in a tournament setting. But I do like the Raging Cajuns to pull that thing off and get to the next round. Back to the MVC first round. You got Belmont taking on Valparaiso. Valpo is how I know him. Belmont's minus 13 and a hook. Belmont are nothing here. Just don't like the 13. Can I get a 7.5? Might be a game I look at live, but maybe not. Pacific to be Pacific. They're taking on Pepperdine, baby. West Coast Conference. The weirdest tournament bracket I've ever seen kicks off today. Pacific 0-16 in conference play. Pepperdine 5-11. Pepperdine 9.5 point favorites. I mean, Pacific, this your last chance to fight. I don't know if they got any fight in them, but this their last chance to show it. You got Texas State after that in the Sun Belt taking on Southern Miss. Southern Miss 1.5 point favorites. Part of me likes Texas State in the small upset here. Holy Cross, Colgate, I'm talking Patriot League, the quarterfinal. Colgate's a 20 point favorite over Holy Cross. Kind of like it. Kind of love it. Colgate's 16-2 in conference play. Definitely a team under the radar. I have them written down, I believe. Yes, I do have them written down to talk about. I like Colgate minus the 19.5. Too big for me to lay. Both of my bets tonight are in just regular season play. I think it's Big Ten and Pac-12. But I do like all these smaller conferences starting a week before, kind of getting the light on them. Lehigh, baby, they're taking on Lafayette. Lehigh is minus 2.5. I don't know. I do not know. I think that should be more of a pick 'em. I mean, 2.5 isn't a huge spread, but I would stay away from that. It's gonna be a good one though. Might be the most interesting game of the day, just as far as competition wise goes. Boston, the university, still wearing the mask. I'm joking. Joking. Sorry. It's a bad joke. They're taking on Navy. Uh, Boston University minus 3.5. Navy plus 3.5. Just for the country, huh? Eh? Nah, staying away from all of these bets. I just like talking about them, giving them a little bit of shine here on the show. It's captained by a hook, baby. Bucknell taking on American University. American is minus 4.5. Both of these teams 10-8 in conference play. I think it'll be a lot closer than you think. This is the quarterfinal, though, baby. We're getting there. Barbasol, they sponsor the Horizon League. You got two games there. You got Purdue, Fort Wayne taking on Oakland. Oakland's minus 3.5. Take Oakland. I like Oakland minus the 3.5. I might jump on it. Jump on it. Cleveland State, Youngstown State. The Battle of the States. Youngstown State is minus 9.5. Give me Cleveland State plus the points if I had to bet it. Cleveland State plus the points. Back to the NBC tournament. Illinois State taking on Evansville. I don't like anybody in that one. 3.5 is the spread going to Illinois State. The ASUN. We're in the semifinals, baby. The final four of the ASUN championship. There's been a few buzzer beaters already in this tournament. A lot of the madness showing its beautiful head. Stetson. They take on Jacksonville. Jacksonville, the cardiac kids. They're surprising everybody. I think they run into a wall here. Stetson minus the 5.5. That would be my bet there. And then you get into some regular games. Let me see. I know they got one more. Yeah, they got a few more. Western Illinois, Tennessee State. Give me Tennessee State with the small upset. I'm doing small upsets a lot today. Give it to me, baby. The other A-Stan semifinal. This is what I was really looking for. Austin Peavy taking on North Alabama. Give me Austin Peavy minus the 3.5 in that one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Georgia State Marshall. Georgia State minus 1.5. That is the Sun Belt Conference tournament. Green Bay Milwaukee. That's gonna be a good one. Spreads 1.5 to Green Bay. I ain't mad at it. In the Pac-12, not in the conference tournaments, just a game I want to talk about. Colorado taking on Oregon. Oregon's minus 3.5. I don't know why Oregon's not in the tournament or not even talked about being in the tournament. You have a team like Oklahoma in the tournament and not Oregon. Blasphemy. Complete blasphemy. I mean, even Memphis has a better resume than both of these teams. But Oregon, they have a chance tonight to prove they belong. A team on the bubble and on the fringe is Colorado, and that's who they play tonight. Oregon's at home. Oregon's minus 3.5. I think Oregon's the better team. Give me Oregon minus 3.5 tonight, taking on Colorado. Colorado. I think Oregon's going to backdoor into this tournament and make some noise. They definitely deserve to be there over a lot of these teams that's in that thing. Another Pac-12. You got UCLA, the mighty Bruins. Don't know how many times I'll be able to say that again this season. They're taking on Arizona. Arizona's minus 9.5. You gotta feel like Mick Cronin is not gonna go out without a fight. But boy, is it hard to bet on UCLA against Arizona. I'm just gonna stay away from it. I made a good amount of money on UCLA on a little 5 to 6 game run they had. I bet them every game I think till they lost. MVC, Southern Illinois, UIC, OVC, Morehead State, minus 8.5. Take the minus 8.5. And then two more games. Well, I'll talk about, well, yeah, two more games in the Pac-12 late games. You got Stanford taking on California. Stanford's minus 3.5. I do like Stanford minus 3.5. However, Stanford hasn't really been good since December. Utah taking on Oregon State. Utah, the Utes is minus 6.5. I like it. I don't love it. But I do like it. I wouldn't be mad at a Utah bet there. Let's jump over to the two games that I do bet. I do have a bet on. I don't know how to speak English without my coffee. I need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. I ain't gonna lie. I usually catch the end and going. It caught me off guard. Caught me off guard. Let's start in the Big Ten early game, 6 o'clock. You got Rutgers. They're traveling. They're at Wisconsin tonight. Wisconsin's minus 9.5 at home. Past that. I mean, these guys gotta be tripping. Give me Rutgers. Give me the plus 9.5. Give me my money. Easy bet. One of the best defensive teams in the country against a team that struggles on offense. In the Big Ten, you don't beat teams by double digits in the Big Ten. Saw this last night. Michigan State minus 9.5. Hell no. Give me Northwestern plus the points. Easy money. Think the same thing here. Rutgers plus 9.5. Easiest bet I've ever made in my life. And by easiest bet, I don't mean it's guaranteed. It's just, oh yeah, I'll bet that. I'll lose that bet happily if I lose. This number just moved in my favor. If I would have gave out these numbers 10 minutes ago, it would have been 2 minutes ago. It would have been 8.5. You got Arizona State. They're taking on USC. Both of these teams, I mean, they're garbage. I don't even know why I'm talking about. You shouldn't even mention these teams in March. But 9.5 is way too big. Arizona State might win this game, but I think they keep it close. Give me Arizona State plus the 9.5. Also Rutgers plus the 9.5. USC and Wisconsin ain't beating nobody by double digits, and that's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Man, man. It's March. It's crazy because I'm so I don't know the word, obsessed, geeked, excited. I keep forgetting that we still got 2 weeks until this damn tournament. 2 weeks from today, actually. 14 days, huh? Boy, oh, that's exciting. But I keep feeling like it's next week for some reason. I keep like wanting to start planning. Like, oh, I need to. Oh, I need to. I don't need to do nothing. Still got 2 weeks. I want to start inviting people over, but I'll just wait. I'll just wait. Let me wait. Gotta also real quick, if anybody's still watching, usually I watch the end of the show though to get the bets, but bracket tournament challenge. Hit me up on the X if you want to join mine. I do it with my man JCP. We always have a beautiful turnout. $20 to get in. Pot usually gets up around $400. Winner takes 70%. Second place takes 20%. Third place takes 10%. You get in third place, you double your money. Can't be mad at that. I won it last year. Only person to pick UConn. That's why I'm kind of trying to rack my brain. Like everybody's gonna pick UConn this year. Who else can I like? Everybody's on Alabama last year. Who can I pick? Not just to be different, but I do like to be different. Everybody's on UConn. I mean, last year I was in second to last after the first weekend. We go into the Sweet 16, Elite 8 weekend, and boom, Alabama falls, Houston falls, Kansas falls. Next thing you know, I'm the only person in the tournament with a chance, with UConn still in it. So it was smooth sailing after that to victory. I think I had 2 out of the 4 Final Four teams. Ended up with UConn as the winner, and it was a lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day. But anyway, man, I can't wait. Hit me up on the X if you want to join it. Uh, Holla. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love, and thank you for the support. About to pour this coffee in the trash. It's Captain by a Hook, baby, with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful, fantastic Thursday, the 7th day of March, the 67th day of the year. Again, thank y'all for real. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all very much. I'm nothing without y'all. Truly. Uh let's go, man. The madness is almost here. Exactly 2 weeks until we tip it off, baby. Please take all of these wagers at your own risk. And please gamble responsibly. Dobbs.